Well, hey there, how are you? So, first full week of planning, developing, trying to get an idea of how I'm going to do this leadership podcast that I'm building. Went pretty well, got a lot done this week. And now we're going to move on to a couple of new topics. So, interviewing is going to be a big one. I'm going to talk a little bit later this week about my philosophy around interviewing guests, making some decisions about where to host and how to distribute the podcast, as well as the right ways to go about promoting the podcast. What I really want to talk about today is procrastination. I think most people I know fall prey to procrastinating from time to time. It would be easy enough for me to lay it at the feet of excuses like, I've got a full-time job, I've got a huge family, I work so many hours per week, and I'm trying to run this YouTube channel. And while those are perfectly valid reasons why I might fall behind on getting my to-do list done, I have to be 100% honest with myself and say, sometimes it's a choice. I think a big part of it is trying to balance the fact that I'm busy with the need for some basic downtime. It's very rare that I can stay up much later than 9:30 or 10 o'clock these days. That's just kind of a function of my age. And I do still steal those moments, a lunch hour at work, an hour or two after dinner when everybody's settled in, if there's nothing else going on. Sometimes you look at that to-do list and it just feels daunting and you don't even know where to start. Plenty enough times I find myself sitting in front of my laptop and I'm looking at that Trello board and the list of things that I've given myself that need to be done, and I don't know where to start. I don't know which one to try to chip away at. Somewhere along the way, something on that list, or a couple somethings on that list, are going to get put on the back burner. This right here, this is being filmed on a Saturday, the day before I intend to upload it. I don't usually give myself this short of lead time, but the effort of trying to keep everything else going, trying to take on this challenge for the month of November to increase to 3 videos a week around this project starts to kind of put me behind the 8 ball. I don't know which thing to chip away at next. Speaking of Saturday night, Mr. Chaos Jones has a show tonight. No idea what it's going to be about. We've already had to skip a show a few times, and frankly, that's a high point of the week for us. So any free moments I get today at work, break time, lunchtime, I got to put a little bit of thought into what kind of game show we're going to structure for tonight. Now, it all could just be that this is the first week of this big new challenge that I gave myself. Maybe by next week, I'll get my hands around it a little bit better. Key thing, I think, is avoiding procrastinating, not allowing the workload to become an excuse to put things off. Well, how about you? What's your threat level for procrastinating? How often do you find yourself putting things off? And is it because you've got too much going on, or is it because of a lack of focus or motivation? Of course, I want to hear about it in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for me about how I can structure my workload a little bit better, I'm all ears. Wherever you are and whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I appreciate the time you spend with me here on the channel having these conversations. And of course, I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the road.